Welcome everyone to the live AMA, Sologenic Live AMA today. I'm so excited. We have a Sologenic core team with us today. And we're going to be having a free solo giveaway at the very end of these sessions. So today, let's take it away and let's introduce you into our core team. But firstly, my name is Chishi. I'll be your moderator today. So let's take it to Bob and all the team now. Introduce yourself.
Thanks, Chishi. Thanks for having us today and arranging the AMA today. Hi, everyone. I'm happy to be here today. I know it's been a while, and the whole community, the whole Sologenic community, they've been asking, to hold such an AMA session, and we are finally doing that. So glad to be here, and I hope that everybody enjoying your time right now. So back to you, Reza. Oh, you're on mute. We don't hear you.
Yep. Hi, everyone. I'm also glad to be here, and we're really excited to answer some of the questions. Lots of questions came in, and we're thrilled to be choosing all the questions that you guys have. Back to you, Dmitri.
Yep. Hi, everyone. My name is Dmitri. So as you all see, we're very excited. We got lots of positive questions and feedback. So we're ready to start and hope that everyone is ready as well.
Okay. At the moment, we're still waiting for people to join in. So if you're hearing this and hear a message, Sologenic core team is waiting for you to join. We will take some more minutes. But today we have a lot of questions. Yeah?
Yeah, that's good. So yeah, let's just wait so more people they can join across all social media. I can see that looks like it's a sunny day for you guys, for Shishi, Dmitri, and Reza.
Yeah.
Looks great. Let's see. Okay, maybe we can start, if we want. I think that.
Okay. I think it sounds good. At the moment, let's keep people coming in. And also, I would like to remind you guys that you can still make questions under the comments on the live right now. So then all the good questions will be picked, and you will win 50 solo for this. So today, we have 3 parts. Good question part and also live question, and at the end for the reporting. So maybe Bob will not take it any longer. We'll take it away for this exciting moment. So maybe we can start with the first question. What do you think?
Sure, that would be awesome. Yeah, let's start that.
All right. So the first question is from Alda on the Twitter. Can you please provide a brief overview of the project and where we currently stand?
Okay, if I understand the question correctly, Alda is looking to get more updates about where we stand currently. We, over the past few months, we might be a little bit quiet, but it doesn't mean that we stop, working on the project. As everybody knows, the development of the project is completely done. And right now, we are just waiting for our licenses, security brokers licenses, to be issued so we can go live inside Europe. But this doesn't mean that we don't work on the project or we have not done any additional progress on the project. There are many efforts and negotiation and talks are happening behind the scenes. We are in touch with multiple, different corporations, inside the EU, inside US, including actually some very interested investment companies, from Europe and US as well. There are a lot of, talks and negotiations are happening, right now behind the scene. We also working on a few new projects that they are extremely valuable for the whole Sologenic ecosystem. And also, it's going to bring a lot of value to Sologenic and XRP community, which we probably going to announce them within the next month or two. These projects, we really don't want to disclose more information. We want to make sure that everything is set, everything is ready to go, and then we are more than happy to disclose more information about the project. But going back to the questions about the update, right now it's a period of time that the development is 100% done, and the system has been launched on our test net, and we just have to wait for the license. Understand that probably some people they're going out of patience, but that's how it works. We have to wait until the licenses are issued. This is going to be a lengthy process. We already started the process a year ago. But as you can imagine, the traditional financial markets are heavily regulated, and we need to make sure that we are satisfying all the requirements of the authorities. So that's why it's taking a little bit of time. But in my idea, there are two ways to launch a project. Very frankly, one way is stay within the regulatory framework, which is obviously it's going to take more time, but it's going to guarantee that the project is going to be successful long term. And the other one is you just launch your project outside of a regulatory framework, which we didn't really choose to go that route, right? It could be a faster route. We could even launch the project, I don't know, maybe as a CFD style. But we didn't choose to do that because we are thinking long term, and for that reason, when you want to be fully regulated, it's more complicated, and everybody needs to understand that. I hope I could answer the question.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, I think that's a really good answer, Bob. So I think that was quite clear. I mean, we're going to take it further for the next questions. It's going to go for Lisa. So I'm going to be presenting the question now, and if you're ready, this is from Blockchain073 Twitter. So here we go. Do the team expect any major development by the end of Q3?
Yes, that's a great question. So as Bob mentioned, we have been very busy with developing everything. So the approach to launching Sologenic, live Sologenic, was to basically get everything done. All the developments needs to be done. And then as soon as you have the license, you can just launch the project so that you don't actually have to wait for any more development. So over the past few months, as Bob mentioned, we have completed the whole development of the Sologenic ecosystem. So the tokenization part is done. The dividend payout is done. The assets, the DEX is almost done. And we keep adding new features to all these components. And we are also working on the as to say, stealth project that Bob just pointed out to. So yes, development for that is like the heavy development is on that, which is pretty exciting. And it all comes down together in a couple of months when, like I think what we were doing here came out of necessity.
Uh-oh.
I saw this question that you're going to ask me. I'm going to have to go into these, so I'm going to wait for that.
All right. So then it's getting more, get into more questions, a more difficult question for you then. So coming up.
Yeah.
Then I think that thank you very much. So we're moving forward to Dmitry now. Dmitry, this is probably one of the most juicy questions. There's so much people have been asking all over Twitter, YouTube, and everywhere. So now here we go from LN125 on Twitter. So this question: when we will have the license, Dmitry?
Well, yes, indeed. This is a very, I would say, tricky questions. We are all waiting for the license, and well, it's kind of not possible to project the hard deadline, as it much depends on the regulatory body, as we all understand. But what I can say is that we have dedicated lots of efforts, team members, and legal forces, everything for speeding up the process. So. And making sure that we are addressing all matters that the regulator had in a clear and simple manner. So currently we're waiting for the FSA feedback regarding the process, and we are ready to address any possible questions that they might have. And well, regarding the timing, again, it is kind of tricky to project, but according to our internal forecast, we plan to launch commercial operations in late Q4 or early, late Q3 or early Q4 this year. So this means that the license should be issued by that time, as well as all license exporting actions are completed. But again, this timing might change, as it all mostly depends not on us, but on the regulators.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
I actually like your T-shirt, Dmitry. It looks like XRP.
Yeah, it is a new version of the XRP.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Project
so
X.
absolutely.
Very
Okay.
cool.
Okay. I don't know. I think that this is probably more to follow up on this license part. We're definitely going to let you all know on Twitter. It's a thing. If actually coming out, we're definitely going to announce it and everyone's going to be knowing. And so maybe for this, we can take it further and definitely go back to Bob again with more questions from Ian Ross here. So Bob, they have more questions here. Is the Korean brokerage house in the UK still committed to proceed?
Yes, you know, if this question is referring to Saxo Bank, that's our brokerage house that we work with. Yes, you know, we do have a contract with them. Technically, the contract has been signed a while back ago, in 2020, and you know, everything it is still in effect, you know, for sure. They're just waiting for us to update the license. You know, everything goes back to license, but maybe I can add something here. I know this question is not related to the license, but maybe I can add something here. You know, as I mentioned earlier, there are a lot of talks are happening right now behind the scene, right? So we might have some fantastic news for the whole community within the next month or so. You're probably going to see a lot of changes, you know, even on CoinField, you know, structures, you're probably going to see a lot of changes. On Sologenic corporate structures, as I mentioned, a lot of negotiation and partnerships are going to happen. Don't get surprised, you know, if you see some great news about, you know, Sologenic, perhaps maybe launching in US, you know, if everything goes fine.
Cool stuff. So maybe we're moving forward back to the side again about the Sologenic. This one from Henry P223. So the questions: is Sologenic going to be the federated sidechain on XRP ledgers on H2 tokenized stock?
Well, that's an amazing question. I have been on this topic for the past few months, and you know, we've basically been going lots of back and forth with the team, kind of related to the future. And yes, so basically the federated sidechains, when David Schwartz recommended is, you know, this is exactly what we are in line with this, because essentially what federated sidechains solve is a lot of shortcomings that people find with specific use cases on the XRP ledger. For example, I'll give you one example. Like when we're issuing stocks and assets on the XRP ledger, you need to, for example, have a reserve, a 5 XRP reserve for holding each asset. And that might, you know, if for you know, a company, a big institution or whatever, you know, if they're trading or holding thousands of stocks, that, you know, would kind of not be suitable. And so there are things that we were trying to think, how can we overcome? Federated sidechains actually do solve that. If you have your own, you know, sidechain as a blockchain running in parallel with the XRP ledger. You can essentially do anything you want, and at the same time, be able to move freely the assets within the XRP ledger and the federated sidechain. And as I said, this is another hint of what is coming soon. And that's like what we're focusing right now. Mm-hmm. Not specifically the idea of the federated sidechain, but it's very in line with this. In order for federated sidechains to take place on the XRP ledger, a couple of things need to happen within the XRP community. Like, for example, one of the things that lack as of today with the XRP ledger is the fact that XRP ledger does not allow basic smart contracts for issued tokens, such as escrows. So, for example, if you want to move an asset and like a tokenized Tesla to a federated sidechain, you probably have to figure out how are you going to lock that asset on one chain and then transfer it to the sidechain, on the main chain, and then transfer it to the sidechain. So these are the things that I think the whole ecosystem is naturally moving forward to. I think the XRP community is kind of focusing on building the XRP ledger and making it capable to accept and coexist with sidechains. At the same time, we as Sologenic are thinking on how to kind of use these and utilize the XRP ledger, because at the end of the day, we have the decentralized trading on the XRP ledger, we have the asset tokenization on the XRP ledger. So the XRP ledger is going to stay as one of our main distribution and trading ecosystems. What we are building on the side will only boost the project's ambitions. So the XRP ledger is going to be there, and then we're going to be probably, adding things. I'm not going to say if it's a sidechain or not, but it's a project that is very related to this.
Very good, very insightful. So thank you for this, and then now we're moving forward. But guys, I mean, you still can comment more questions. We have tons of questions. People say we have a cool project. We want to hear more from you as well. If you don't have any questions, just come and make the chat or the comment and hear how much you love our project as well. But then, Dmitri, maybe we're moving forward to your questions for the next one. This is one is a little bit weird questions. I don't know. They say from this LN125. You see it now on the screen. So if we do not succeed in obtaining the license, what will be the future of the Sologenic?
Well, yes. Providing Sologenic services, to my mind, requires a license. There is no simple or legit way to launch a long-term operations without it. So getting a license, it is not a question, but really a milestone that we will achieve for sure. And of course, I understand the background of this question. So again, this is not something that really depends on the company, but also depends on the regulators and how authorities are accepting new technologies that Sologenic is bringing on the market. So of course, there is a chance that we can face obstacles in this regard. However, we are considering multiple workarounds for this scenario. So I wouldn't say that there is anything to be worried about. Those scenarios are quite simple and straightforward. For example, we can acquire an investment firm with existing license to use it for the Sologenic services, which is not a problem at all. Or for example, using the license roofing services that some other companies have already started to use in the blockchain industry. So the future is there, definitely. Just this licensing matter, it is taking some time.
But I see that you already have a plan to cover. So I would say that we have nothing to worry about much.
Absolutely. We always have a plan B or even C and D.
We have multiple plans. Like, these are the things that we always keep thinking in the future. So yeah, there are always plans.
I'm very, very, very happy to hear this. And I think the fan also happy to hear this as well. So Bob, I see that you're a little busy, that I probably answered the fan as well on Twitter. But anyways, now going back to you with more questions. From Andy HR15 on Twitter. What is on Binance?
When it's on Binance.
Yeah, when it's on Binance.
That's actually a good question as well. We reached out to Binance a few months ago. We in touch with their team. They basically they have their own procedure, and it takes time. We started that discussion 2-3 months ago, but so far it's moving ahead very slowly. Obviously, Binance is the largest cryptocurrency exchange globally right now, and they do have their own policy and procedure in order to list any new assets. We do understand that and we respect it. And at this moment, we just talking with them. We are in talks with them. But if the community that would like to see Sologenic on Binance, perhaps it's a good timing just to reach out to Binance and let them know that you want Sologenic to be listed there. It's definitely going to help.
I think it's very good if everyone tag Binance and also local as well, and tell them that, okay, we need it to be unlisted. So guys, exactly. You have the power of social media, go out there, do your things, and so we can be listed with no time.
But frankly,
right. So
frankly, I'm not really worried that much about getting Solo listed, on every single exchanges out there. I'm very certain that as soon as the project is completely live, within the regulatory framework, this is going to happen for the first time. The cryptocurrency project is going to be fully in compliance with the securities regulations. Once that happens, I'm very sure that we are going to get a lot of attention, not only from the crypto community and crypto exchanges. We're even going to get more attention from the traditional industry, traditional financial industry as well. So I would say that future, right? It's a young project, so you should understand that, and be patient and support the whole ecosystem.
Totally agree with Bob here. We're moving next questions. Me personally like this question very much. I think it's going to be for Reza, and I think he's ready to answer us from the blockchain 073 again. Here, if you see right now on the screen. Here we go. When do we'll be able to access from that directly?
Well, that's this question makes me happy and sad at the same time, because I wanted to come and say it's live now, but Google Play Store to approve the app. So the way we always submit the apps for reviews, we usually do it for iOS because it takes much longer for iOS, maybe up to a week. And Google Play usually approves everything within like 30 minutes or so. So we have submitted the apps to the stores this very morning, and we have the iOS approval ready to. It's actually called pending developer release, so we're waiting to release that. The Android version, we're still waiting for it. So hopefully, I'm still hoping. I actually sent a message to the team that as soon as it's there, just ping me. I want to announce it, but it's going to be there. And there's a lot of features in the new app. The whole app is kind of rethink, but the UI is the same. Everything's the same. You have a full DEX trading, which is really nice. I love it, and it's so easy to use the DEX on the phone, because I think there has always been a lack of a full trading app on the XRP ledger. I mean, you have the Solo DEX web version, you have the ZOM, which you can do like market orders on their app, but you don't have any app that you can actually see the order books you can interact with. You can place different types of orders, limit orders, and things like that. So that's coming out hopefully today. If not today, then I'm going to be pushing and going to be sending an email to Google and see if they are going to release it tomorrow. But yes, it's coming out, and I wanted to announce that it's out already, but it's pity that still waiting for the approvals.
Okay, but don't file too long. I think we're gonna get approval very, very soon, guys. So stay tuned. We again gonna announce it on Twitter, so that means you all will be first one to know and check out. Okay?
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. So we're moving forward with another question. We got a lot of people asking on social media. Dmitri, I hope you're ready for this one. So we're going from the LN125. The solo card is still planned for Q3, and why there was the delay?
Yeah, well, this is the one of the hardest questions, but indeed there were quite delays, and the delays are connected to the fact that we really want this card to be very user-friendly, competitive in terms, and also cover the wide variety of regions. So finalizing all these terms with third parties such as card issuers, banks, etc., takes lots of time, and we often really need to change our plans, find some other workaround solutions, etc. So getting all these things together requires lots of negotiations with these third parties, and we are constantly like improving, progressing in this regard. But the program is delayed because we really want to again have it really competitive in all the terms for our end users, and it's not always possible to find this common points for with the third parties. However, again, we are on the track. We're progressing with this matter, and this program is still in the development. But we all hope that this card will be launched Q3 this year. If not, we still aim to launch it this year, not postponing it to the 2021. So you just stay tuned, and we will continue work hard on this matter.
Yes, I'm so excited. Yes, please.
I want to add something to that as well.
Yes.
So basically, the solo cards were supposed to be one of the first components on the Sologenic ecosystem. And the app actually, like the whole everything, we developed it back in 2019. Actually, now it's 2021. I don't know why. You said 2021 next year, Dmitri, and I kind of thought that we're still 1 year behind. But no, in 2020. So that part of the development is completely done. We have the apps, and something else that I wanted to say is when we brought up the solo card app, we were actually we had the contract. We had 2 contracts with 2 different companies providing card services to us. And the reason that we had 2 was one to be used as a backup for the other one. And it happened that last year, like that's the cause of that delay. Trying to make things better, because initially things were good on paper for us, and one of the companies vanished with even the funds that they had, like not the funds, but like the deposit. Like you pay some deposits to get some contracts and things, but just vanished. And so we left with the other company, and then there were all these talks and negotiations with this company, with the banks. And so that company, like it happened last year, and so that made us to look for new partners then. And so we actually have a couple of different partners that we're negotiating, and we're trying to pick the best one that can be competitive in fees and what Dmitri has mentioned.
True that. And actually, me personally, waiting for the card as well. I wanted to.
I have been waiting it forever. Yeah.
I want to go use it everywhere, and I think it's one of the more exciting things. It's very more tangible for people to use, and many people are waiting for this.
Yeah.
We're moving forward.
Sorry,
yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. Just adding to what Reza mentioned. We do have some options. If you want to launch a solo card, we do have some options that we can actually use those options and go live. But at the end of the day, I think the cost, the transaction costs are playing a very important factor here, because if they're not in line with what we have in mind, technically it's going users, retail customers, they're going to end up paying a lot of fees, which they don't really like that. Nobody likes that. So right now, the challenge that we have is to find, basically, we are already in touch with a few, but there's some obstacles that we need to remove. We need to overcome those obstacles. and hopefully we can launch that as Dmitry mentioned.
Absolutely, absolutely. Bob, okay, great. So the connection is a little bit delayed. Anyways, I think you all hearing about Solo Card. We're working really hard on it, and we promise that we're going to announce it as soon as we have further update on this. And we have so much regarding Solo Card as well. Like a lot of people have the same idea, same mind with these questions. Okay, moving forward to Bob. Bob, there are people talking about Project X. Maybe you can share more the details. What exactly is Project X? So could you please elaborate the somewhat crypto tweet about Solo and Ethereum, or Bob called Project X?
Project X. That's I like this question. What do you think, Dmitry? Why Dmitry has an X on his T-shirt? No, I'm kidding. It has nothing to do with Project X. The name is not actually Project X. I just said Project X because I didn't want to reveal, the name, right? But very quickly, actually myself, Reza, and Dmitry, we spoke about it. Should we just reveal this or no? You think it's too early to, provide the full details because it is still in progress. But very briefly, I know that everybody is excited about that. Very briefly, this is a project that it is 100% community-based. So our role, the Sologenic role here is just a nonprofit foundation, right? Just to run this project. And then the whole ecosystem is going to be basically run by the community and community developers, right? So people decide what they want to do with it, right? And at the same time, this project is going to bring a huge value and maybe airdrops for XRP community, Solo community, and Ethereum community. This is actually a very interesting and exciting project that we are super, super excited, about this project. And we are actually hoping to announce it and offer more details, perhaps within the next month or two.
Very good. Very exciting to hear more about this.
But the name is not X, definitely it's not X.
Maybe it's right.
Maybe I just say X because I didn't want to reveal it. And it's funny that Dmitry has an X on his T-shirt as well. So right now everybody thinks that's related to the Project X.
Okay. So you have to all continue. You have to follow us on Twitter on Real Sologenics, and then also tag Bob if you have more questions about Project X. Maybe you can find the name soon. But continue with us and keep with us on social media, and then you can learn more. I'm pretty sure that Bob will announce it as well very soon. So many things to follow up. The next one, So next one is go to Reza as well, and this more about DEX. Will any more asset be listed on the DEX this year?
So it's decentralized exchange. Nobody controls what assets to be listed on the DEX. With the Sologenic DEX UI, sologenic.org, you can actually trade on any asset that exists on the DEX. So you can pair custom assets. As long as that asset exists on the XRP ledger, you can just pair it and trade and do other wallet functions with either the web app or the mobile app. But at the same time, I think one of the things I think the community needs to, or the companies that are active on the XRP community should do, is to sort of do more bridging. Like right now we have GitHub, for example, that lists different assets like Bitcoin, or you have Bitstamp, and they are kind of custodying assets their own, and then they're issuing it on the XRP ledger. So for one thing, once you have the federated sidechain, that issue is going to be solved much easier. And I think it makes more sense for these companies, even Coinfield, to come up with listing more assets on the XRP ledger. So you can technically withdraw assets to the XRP ledger, trade on the DEX, and do whatever you want, and then redeem at the point of purchase. I highly support the fact that I highly support the action for companies to come and issue assets on the XRP ledger. But as for the Sologenic DEX, you can already pair any assets that already exist on the XRP ledger.
Okay, cool. So that we will say we will never know how many listed, but we will know that we want people to list it more. What will we say with the answer? We will never know because they're going to be unknown.
Yeah, I mean, it is known and unknown, but it's the blockchain. Everybody has to contribute. So if we don't control it, we don't say, hey, we're going to list this and that and that. I mean, we can contribute and say, as a part of our collaboration, we're going to list, for example, this specific asset. Like, for example, Flare. I think Flare is going to be added to the XRP ledger, and there's going to be a trading pair. And as soon as trading is live, we're going to add it to the XRP, to the DEX UI for Sologenic. So maybe that is one of the upcoming assets that's coming out.
Super cool. Super cool. Thank you. Thank you for this. Okay, moving next with a big plan. So we always say about our roadmap on the Sologenics and ecosystem and everything. So now this one from Denny, and it's go to Dmitri. What's Sologenic target? Dmitri, you there?
Yes. I'm sorry, Shishi. Can you please repeat the question? I don't see it on the screen.
What's Sologenic target in next year?
Yes.
I mean, the next year target for
yes. I got it. So basically, we have lots of exciting plans for the next year. Unfortunately, and as already Bob partly covered, Reza, we cannot disclose all our projects that we have in the roadmap as of now, but it should be definitely inspiring year for all these projects that we are running and the team as well. So probably among something that I can disclose is we definitely, once the Sologenic tokenized assets will be launched, we definitely are going to be adding more exchanges. Currently, we're focusing on the US markets only, which is obvious because it's like a main stock exchange. But we are definitely going to be adding more exchanges, more assets, instruments such as ETF, new stocks, etc. So, yep.
Okay, super cool. We're moving next, but I would like to promote it here as well that we need more questions from you. We at the 40 minutes right now, but we can go on for more with the question because we know that you really want this AMA. You have been requesting it. We want to answer your question that you're having. So add more questions and you can win 50 solo and we're still on going strong. So keep sending your question over. Now, Bob, are you ready for the next questions? It's a bit long one. It's still about license.
Yes, no problem.
Okay, cool.
Oh, okay, you put it on the screen. Okay.
Yes.
There's something you would consider that we work with it if the can
it's
up.
Kind of
I think yes, I think Dmitri covered that question 10, 15 minutes ago. As Dmitri mentioned, this is a milestone. This is a milestone like any other milestone that we have. Obviously, we have easy and we have harder milestones, right? But it has to happen. The regulations and the requirements are very clear, transparent. So if we can meet those requirements, the license needs to be issued, right? And we are doing all of our best in order to satisfy financial authorities' requirements, right? So I really don't think that licenses are not going to be obtained, right? But it may take some time, as it has already taken, longer than what we really expected in the beginning, right? But again, as I mentioned, behind the scene, not only in Europe, even in US, we are in talks with many parties, interested parties, and we just look at the alternatives, right? Let's see how it goes. I don't get surprised if we launch, maybe, I don't know, everything goes fine, maybe we launch in US faster.
Super.
But
thank you for answering.
Don't raise your hope. Don't raise your hope. Let's see what's going to happen.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so now from Philstone04 from Twitter, this one, go to Lasa. What are some of the major updates that may be applied soon on that, so Enchanted?
Well, yes, the team is constantly building new things. Once we have the approval for, as I mentioned, the Android, we are going to update the web decks as well. And the updates are like scanning QR codes when you're on your phone. That's one of the features everybody wanted. And basically, we're working on adding new wallets for signing, like Kobo Vault and a couple of other ones. So those are also being considered, and some of them are actually in development. We're adding more languages. We're we're trying to improve the stability. We're working on minor bug fixes, and so just to make sure that the DEX is ready for when it's going to be used most, when the tokenized assets are actually out there and everybody is trading them on the DEX. But if anybody has any feature requests, we would love to hear it. And I think I have been very, anybody who messaged me on Twitter with a feature request, I responded and took that into the next sprint. Like it is very important for us to get feedbacks. And if anybody has anything that they want, they can come out and say. And we actually have one thing that I know you're going to ask me, which I'm going to say later.
Okay. All right. Okay. We're waiting to see more feature on that, definitely. We will now moving more to Dimitri's with the questions. Dimitri, so this one for you. How has this affected the idea and goal of building the Sologenic project? What are the most focuses on right now?
Well, so basically, we are building these projects for a couple of years already, and we are all excited, especially when you guys are giving us this positive feedback. And I was just yesterday checking all these questions that we have received, and lots of support I saw there. It is really inspiring, and it gives us a proof that we're on the right track with this. And regarding the goal of building the Sologenic project, so basically the main goal was to merge those two verticals together, the classical investments in terms of the securities and the blockchain, which is obviously the innovation that is accepted by more and more jurisdictions currently. And again, it serves as a proof that we're on the right track. We just need to push forward to get this target achieved. And currently, as you probably understand, we're focusing on many things, but among all of them, I would say that probably the license is the main matter that we are working on, because it's really the only thing that keeps us from launching operations commercially, like providing this live services. Because we have developed the platforms, we have all the apps, trading platforms available, links with other liquidity providers, etc. So this is just the only single matter that keeps us away from launching the project commercially.
Cool stuff. The next question will not be for Bob, but we'll go back to the SAR, because we're going to talk about the NFT. It's so much a buzz on the internet right now, NFT. So here from Malawaka, number 3, from Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Are you considering NFT? Is there any room for implementation to your ecosystem? This one go to Lisa, or Bob can help as well.
Reza, would you like to answer, or you want me to take
Yeah.
that question?
No, I was waiting for you to ask me this question, Gigi.
Okay.
Okay, great.
I know that because you seem very excited about it.
I am. Yeah.
Go ahead.
We are, yes. So one thing that we're adding to Sologenic, the Sologenic Dex UI, is NFTs. And so we are in the process of building it. We're in the process of design, build, sprints, and it so far it's looking amazing. And so hopefully we are going to build it on the existing XRPL protocols. And so there has been some standards offered by the community. We're going to use them, and we're going to build an NFT capability on the WebDex to be released soon. And like I know Bob will always put spoilers on his Twitter as soon as he has the main screenshots of the working app. He's gonna show it to everyone. But that's one thing we're working on.
Okay, so we see far from near. How far you think we can have them? Do you have a timeline for us? Because it's kind of buzz right now, and everyone talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's our focus. It's in our active sprint. We are working on it.
Super. Okay, guys, so stay tuned. You definitely want to hear more about this as well. So now, moving forward, again, Bob, we'll skip you, but we go back to Solo Card. You can weigh in, but this one go to Dmitri. So, okay. Dmitri, yeah?
Sorry, I didn't understand. Did you say that question is for me?
So this is for Dmitri, but you can weigh in because you have been...
no problem.
Yeah, okay. Because people really want the Solo Card, so that's why we have more questions about this. What is the purpose of Solo Card? Will it be accepted or with other blockchain?
Well, yes, the purpose or advantage of the Solo Card is to let our users to spend their crypto assets with just a card, like a debit or usual debit or credit card. And this is not only limited to this classical crypto assets such as Solo, XRP, Bitcoin, etc. So we are also planning to link it with our tokenized assets once we launch the Sologenic. So that means, for example, can you imagine how cool this would be if you can spend your tokenized Tesla or Amazon stock for buying a pizza or a cup of coffee? So that's the card itself is like a gateway for spending any type of the crypto assets in a form of paying for the services or goods that requires fiat spending, if I can put it like that.
Okay. And we come to question number 18, and the last question for this part one, and it still go for Dmitri as well. Dmitri, people say that we have grown so big in our ecosystem and our communities, and they want to contribute more. So what could be, how can we help user? How can we help users? And how can we contribute for your success together with communities?
Yes, thank you for this question. As I already mentioned, we have received so many positive feedback and kind of encouraging messages to our team. This is, I think, the most important to hear from the market, this positive feedback that we can share with our team and make us, that really makes us all motivated. So we are extremely proud to receive it. And again, it serves as a proof that we are on the right track with our vision, products, and everything. So please continue with this positive support and keep us motivating to work hard. We definitely going to be releasing new projects and services. And of course, stay tuned for the new announcements. Keep sharing your suggestions. As Reza said, we really appreciate when users share some feedback regarding the projects that we have launched. We're definitely improving them constantly. And then let's just share our success all together with our community.
Absolutely. And don't forget hashtag Go Solo. Every company make
Yes.
hashtag Go Solo. That will
For
help us.
sure.
Yes. Okay. It's so much question. We run almost 1 hour. It's 55 minutes now for this 18 question. But we spend a little bit more time for our lovely core Sologenic team to select some of the questions as well from the live one right now. So we'll probably take 3 minutes or maybe less. I don't know. If you had ready, you just let me know. But let them actually check on the questions, and then they can select some and you can ask as well for continue for the part 2.
Okay, so technically right now we just select a few questions and answer that, right?
Yes.
Okay, I can see there are a lot of questions across all social medias. Let me just...
I have one.
I can start.
Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead, Reza.
Yeah. So the question is, I'm not sure from whom it is. It's just probably asked a couple of times. Please explain the methodology of proof of solvency mechanism on.
You can perhaps Shishi can show it on the screen as well, so we can see the question.
Can you send us? Can you send me a quick one? Which one exactly?
It is on the chat. I can see it on the chat.
Okay. Perfect. Just 1 second. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, having the custody of the physical assets, like the stocks, ETFs, is the most, is the biggest responsibility of Sologenic. And that's essentially, this is the job for Sologenic, and the whole idea is behind how are we keeping, the assets, and how do people know that the assets exist, and how do these assets match the actual assets that are issued. I've been hearing a lot of, for example, people talking how other stable coins are backed, with their reserves. Or how do people know? Now, I think the most important thing, if I had a stable coin, I would put a video camera on a vault, and I would show how money is going, how much money is sitting right now in the vault. And that's important, I think, this whole, and for the connect, we have this feed that's connected directly to our brokerage account and shows the current assets that are held in the custody of our brokerage. And then at the same time, we have a feed that's within the same section that's connected to the XRP ledger on how much asset, how many stocks on, any asset issued at that given moment. And then we have it side by side. So users can actually see the tokenized assets that are sitting on the XRP ledger on the blockchain, and the assets that are held in the custody. And of course, they always have to be pegging 1-to-1. That's the whole idea. We are not going to change those assets. We're not going to, move those assets around. The asset always is backed 1-to-1 with the actual asset. If we cannot obtain the asset from the brokerage, we're not going to issue that asset. And if we cannot sell that asset, it's going to burn that asset. So it is always going to be 1-to-1, and that's we have tried to make it as they say in computer terms, atomic as possible, to make sure that is always and synchronized, and they always remain the same.
Very good. So I think this is, we can move forward to the next one. I think can go for Bob as well. Yeah, so
yeah,
we have a question. Just 1 second. I can put it up.
Perfect.
Here we go. Will Sologenic
Okay.
partner to big bank or financial institution in the future?
Excuse me.
Mm.
Basically, the project that we're currently working on, the other project that we haven't really revealed yet, we call it for now Project X. So Project X and Sologenic, they're going to complete each other. And also complete XRP ledger as well. So the whole idea of the other project that we currently work is to create an infrastructure for financial institutions and banks to be able to develop their own DeFi products while they stay in compliance, fully in compliance with the regulations, right? And I think that's the most important part, because right now you don't really see any blockchain offering such a features that from financial institutions and big banks that can actually come use your blockchain, create their own DeFi product while they are fully in compliance with the regulations in every jurisdiction. So that's the whole idea. And once that happens, once we launch our project, Sologenic and the other project actually complete each other. And we actually expect that many financial institutions to come forward and they want to use Sologenic infrastructure to tokenize traditional assets, on the blockchain.
So good. So moving forward from Sergio, this one is for Dmitry. Is Solo going to be listed outside CoinField?
Yes, for sure, and it's already listed in various exchanges. I think it's around 8 or 10 we're working with, but we are constantly looking for other options, and we're especially focusing now on the tier A or tier 1 exchanges such as Binance. I heard this question before, so we are reaching out to the larger exchanges, and we are talking with them regarding listing Solo. And of course, if we have more support from the community, if community asks those exchanges as well, so we're coming from both ends, it would be just more bring more potential to list Solo in other exchanges.
Okay. So
yeah, I mean the whole idea of listing Solo on other exchanges, we would like to list Solo on other exchanges in an organic way. That means that we want to get to the point once we launch the project completely. We want other exchanges to list Solo. Unfortunately, not every exchange, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about every exchange, but some of these exchanges, they have a unreasonable listing fee, which we never, we really don't want to agree to do that. I agree to pay such a huge fee to get listed there, right? So that's why our strategy is more is just like to be organically listed on those exchanges. And once we go live, as I mentioned, once we get enough attention, the project gets more attention, they have to list us. So that's basically how we look at it.
Okay. So this is good. We have one more question. Maybe Dmitry, you would like to go and would like to cover more about this part, but I think that these questions Bob just covered. The last question.
Sure, which one?
I think Bob just did.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the question that I heard. I can see there are a lot of other questions, but I think we're running out of time. We planned this for an hour.
Yes.
So, but this is very exciting, and we definitely need to have more AMA with the whole community. So let's see how this one goes. If we get positive feedback, we're definitely going to do that perhaps on a monthly basis.
Absolutely. I hope you all satisfied, fans. We're going to have more AMAs. Just keep coming up with all your hard questions, and we're definitely going to let you know about Solo Card, about the DEX and the Solo wallet that are coming through. Update on the Apples and also the Android. They're done with the update, and then we can let you know. And also Project X from Bob. Maybe it's become Project Y or Project Z. We never know. So you have to stay tuned. Is that right, Bob?
Who knows?
Yes, we never know.
We know the
Yes.
name. We honestly, we know the name. We know what it's called, but we don't want to reveal it at this moment.
Okay. All right. Right now, we have selected our winner as well. So, Bob, would you like to announce the winner, or how are we going to do it?
Perhaps you can just do that. That would be awesome.
Okay. So then I will be leaving the name right now. So if you give me 2 minutes to add the name, I can send out. Actually, I'll be announcing the name as well on the Twitter afterward. But
Okay.
we had 5 winners here, and we had 50 solo koi to give away. I don't know. Maybe I should add it here for the name. Just
yeah, you can just perhaps easier for you. Just announce on Twitter. That would be great. Okay. So we don't take everybody's time here.
Okay. All right. So maybe let's do that. Yes. Okay. So I have 2 names now out. Let's see. 1 second. But I will definitely announce it on Twitter. So guys, don't worry about it. You will get your solo, and I will definitely adding more. So today AMA is success. I hope that we're gonna have many more in the future. I think I will ending it now. We have 1 hour and 5 minutes already. Thank you, our solo team, Bob.
Thank you, Cici.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Cici.
Thanks for arranging this, Cici. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Okay. See you next time. Bye-bye.
See you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.